face, you gon' be suing me quick. If I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I caught the chromed out, hard talk career with a shine. I got some time, they ain't I get better with time. Who got a flow and a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. I'm a hot girl yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Fuck the back day yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gonna do?
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Ball was teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're off from Baltimore. Returning it from the 4. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. They send a man in motion. Jackson looking to throw right away. Escapes the pocket. That one's taken in by the rookie out of USC. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Back to throw. Here's Jackson. Into the hands of Walker. Down to the 10. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens take a 6-0 lead right away. Justin Tucker to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Chooses to bring this one out. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. Oh, stiff arm. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Motioning Williams left. Shotgun snap to Fields. His first throw is an interception. Breaks the tackle, still going. And the Ravens take over as he records his 10th career INT. Well, for their sake, partner, I sure hope the rest of their pass attempts this game go a whole lot better than that, because it is pretty clear this defense came to play.
And I can promise you this, Kate, nowhere on that opening script does the word interception ever appear. You never want to see an INT. Now they're going to have to flush it. That's the key here for this quarterback in the offense. Got to flush that mistake and press on ahead.
And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. This one intended for the running back. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, they got to count on those being efficient and effective.
He's running with it. Don't think he's going to get much, if any, as he heads out of bounds right near the line.
You know, that's exactly how a defense should adapt as a play progresses. They blanketed everybody in coverage, but still kept all eyes on the quarterback to keep him from breaking containment. He got out for no gain, but that feels like a sack for the...
They connect on the deep shot. And in for the Baltimore touchdown. Not even 2 minutes in, Brock, and they've already got 2 touchdowns up on that scoreboard.
Okay, even by the standard the elite offense set every season, this is some incredibly fast-paced scoring to begin a game. They got off the bus ready to roll full speed from the start.
That one splits the uprights. And the Ravens drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's ETN to begin the drive. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Fields out of the gun. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they'll have it across midfield as he runs out. New set of downs for him from the 46. Fields on first down. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Picked up by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Okay, Brock, now back-to-back drives where they have picked him off. That's got to be a worrying trend for these coaches who know how integral the passing game is to their game plan and their success.
Those poker players, the best of them, when they figure out a tell, they know exactly how to beat their opponent. This defense right now, they're reading this quarterback like a book.
On first down, they're going to start out with Achane. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. They kick the running back in motion. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Along the sideline, past midfield. And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Buys time, rolling right. He can run it. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
2nd down carry for Achane. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. Working quickly here. First down, here's Lamar. Has him on the quick hitter. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Has a man, it's Achane. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens Ravens take a 20-zip lead. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine, surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. We'll bring it out from the middle of the end zone. Declines the touchback, Brock, and they make him pay in a big way. He's tackled before he can get to the 20. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Trying it right side with Etienne. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Now Fields. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up. We're a quarter of the way. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They're stuck behind the sticks on 3rd and long. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
I know I'm nitpicking a little bit here, Kate, but if they could have held off just another second before making contact, they may have driven this QB right into the end zone, and we know what that would have meant. 2 points and the defense ignited.
Gets this one away from a tough spot, backed up inside the end zone. They'll start from the 39. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Good return here of 19 yards. And the Ravens more than happy to take over in enemy territory. Here's A-Chain running right. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
May not be the way he typically gets the ball, Kate, but once he had it in his hands like a reception, he knew what to do with it. He smelled that 1st down, and he went and got it.
Walker hauls it in. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Jackson, quick pass wide. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And that play is brought to a halt, so they're going to say at the 5-yard line. 1st down, and they go right back to it. Punches it in for the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens were running away so far. We've got a 27-zip game. Tucker on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens continue piling on to this lead. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And he's going to wind up out of bounds right where the former touchback used to be, along the 25-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Rolling left, buying some time. Looking left, throwing deep. Big gain downfield. At the 20. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
They only get a yard that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Trying again from the 2. It's 2nd and goal. ETN. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. They're going to run with ETN. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Give him a couple yards on that run, and this sets up 4th and goal. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. They're going to try with ETN. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. And he will not get there. They stop him on 4th and goal. What a stand to force that turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, it's almost like the defense was in the offensive huddle before the play. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And the reward is they get off the field.
And defenders are there to get him at the line. Brought to a halt by Deonte Banks. HN again on 2nd. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Brought to a halt by Deonte Banks. Now Jackson on 3rd down. He's on the move. He's got it deep downfield. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that will give them some serious momentum along with a 1st down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw. When you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Lamar now from the gun. Forced out to his right. He's got it! Oh, what body control to stay in and get the 2 feet down. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And he gets him around 6 there. Justin Matabike making that stop. Managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Motioning one of the tight ends. On 2nd down, it's Etienne. Hits a seam at the 40. Along the sideline inside the 25. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers cut the lead down to a more manageable 28 points. Now Boswell on to send this away. Return coming from the 6. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Lamar. Dumps it off to his running back. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
And he gets it past the 50 and down to the Steelers side of the field.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The 2 were right there, and then nailed some positive yards.
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Out of the option, he's going to keep it going right. And he's brought down for a loss. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Here's 2nd and 11. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens push their lead further to start the half. Tucker able to tack on the extra point. And the Ravens grow their lead yet again. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And he gets up beyond the 20, but they plant him a few inches into the ground to end that return. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now give this up the middle to Etienne. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
First time this game they've looked to him. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. On the run, it's Etienne. Broke through the tackle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Going to the ground again on first. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside.
What a hit, and the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Ravens.
Well, sure, you're looking to try to get a first down on second down. You're trying to create a manageable third down, but I'll tell you what you're not trying to do, ever, is give the ball away. And that's what the offense does to the defense right there.
It's a sweep. He pops the pass forward. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Looking right, and he finds him. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They strike for 23 yards. And that'll be first down, Baltimore. Lamar back to throw. Pass complete to Walker. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Offense in the hurry up here.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line.
And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
That's good for a Baltimore Ravens.
What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. Offense up to the line fast.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
A touch. Line of scrimmage once again. That 7-yard line as they get set. 2nd and goal. Putting a receiver in motion. Out of the gun. Here's Jackson. And he finds him in the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens are running them out of the building. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate.
Yep.
You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
Jackson's throwing for it. And that one's caught. Add a couple more on to this massive, some might say insurmountable lead here in the 4th. All right, I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Game well decided. How does a former player like yourself feel about that decision?
Yeah, whatever you think your answer is, Kate, you're right. I don't think there's anybody that likes this, and I don't think it really is a case when you're up this big. You're just trying to embarrass your opponent, and you better be careful.
Counter give to Etienne. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
They go right back to Etienne. And this run is stopped after getting up past the 35. It'll be a gain of 5. They still need 4 on 3rd down.
Humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Etienne on 3rd down. Oh, he drops a cut to the right sideline. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Play action, Fields. Throw complete to Juszczyk. And they're going to bring him down at the 36.
I remember talking to Jim Harbaugh one time, and Bo Schembechler asked him when he was a head coach, you have a tight end with his hand on the ground? Yes, coach. You have a fullback still in your roster? Yes, coach. Then you're going to be just fine.
Breaks the tackle, Greengrass ahead. And a massive hit at the end of that play. Oh, baby. But he hangs on through it. Still able to get that first down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Working quickly here. Back to the well again. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Fields on 3rd. Brought in along the sideline. Just need an official ruling. And they say catch. Great play. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run. Etienne. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
That's the 2-minute warning here from Baltimore. Steelers trying to do some window dressing. Still set up at the 9. It's 2nd and goal. One more time with Etienne. And that play is brought to a halt. They're going to say at the 5-yard line. A pickup of 4. That brings up 3rd and goal. Etienne again. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Give him only 1 yard on that play, Brock. They're left with 4th and goal at the 4.
Well, the defense, they couldn't stop him for a loss, but they denied him the goal line at least. Now we get to see, right, decision time, one of these critical decisions of whether or not they're going to go for an all-or-nothing 4th down play.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Final shot here, right side. He's actually driven backwards. Oh, this is going to lose yards. He's not going to get there. Doesn't make the end zone. That's short. And they're going to turn it over as 4th and goal fails. They'll start the drive with Achane. And he'll only get out to about the 7 before going down. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
And he hauls this one up to the 11 before being stopped. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on 3rd down.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
Now here's Lamar. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Chased out to his right. And they won't do it. That ball's incomplete on 4th down.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field.
So it ends as a win for the Ravens. And it's harder and harder not to mention, Brock, the possibility of an undefeated season as they add another to their total here in the penultimate month of the campaign. So for my partner, Brock Huard, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from Baltimore.